Let's talk about Elliot Rodger, an entitled, angry young man whose deep resentment turned deadly. In 2014, he committed one of the most disturbing mass killings in modern America, fueled by hatred, misogyny, and a twisted desire for revenge. But who was Elliot Rodger, and what led him to carry out such a calculated attack? Let's break it down in 5 minutes. Elliot Rodger was born in 1991 in London, but moved to California as a child. His father was a filmmaker who worked on the Hunger Games, and his mother was a nurse. On the surface, it looked like a privileged upbringing, but Elliot struggled socially from a young age. He was shy, anxious, and often isolated. As a teenager, these feelings of social exclusion began to turn into deep resentment, especially towards women. So by the time he was in his early 20s and attending college in Isla Vista, California, that resentment had metasized into something far darker. In the months leading up to the attack, Elliot began posting disturbing videos on YouTube, talking about his loneliness, rejection, and hatred towards women and alpha males, who, in his words, had it all. He felt the world had wronged him. He believed he was a supreme gentleman who deserved attention, affection, and sex, but was constantly overlooked. He also wrote a manifesto because, of course he did. It was titled My Twisted World, where he detailed his life, his growing bitterness, and his plan for a day of retribution. In it, he outlined how he intended to punish women for rejecting him and men for being more successful than him. Now, this wasn't just angry ranting, it was a blueprint for mass murder. On the 23rd of May 2014, Elliot Rodger began his killing spree. It started at his apartment, where he stabbed 2 of his flatmates and 1 of their friends to death. The victims were Chen Yuan Hong, 20, George Chen, 19, and Weihan Wang, 20. They all received multiple stab wounds and continued to be stabbed even after they had died. It was a horrific attack. He then got into his car, uploaded his final YouTube video titled Retribution, and continued with part 2 of his murderous rampage, armed with guns and knives. Rodger drove to the Alpha Phi sorority house and pounded on the door for several minutes, but luckily no one answered. A witness who lived in the house then heard 6 to 7 gunshots, a female scream, followed by 3 additional gunshots. Rodger had returned to his car and from there shot Veronica Weiss, Catherine Cooper, and Bianca DeCoke as they walked past. Bianca DeCoke survived, but unfortunately Veronica Weiss, who was 19, and Catherine Cooper, 22, did not. Rodger continued his rampage where he fired at a coffee shop and then at a deli where he struck 20-year-old Christopher Michaels Martinez in the chest as he fired numerous shots. Christopher Michaels Martinez died on sight. During his frenzied attack, he injured multiple people by gunfire and by deliberately hitting pedestrians with his car. The chaos finally ended when Rodger crashed his BMW after a shootout with police. He was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The massacre sent shockwaves through the US and beyond, not just because of the violence, but because of what it represented. Rodger's writings and videos were laced with misogyny and entitlement, and he quickly became a twisted icon among some dark corners of the internet. He's been widely referenced in the Incel, involuntary celibate, subculture, a misogynistic online community of men who blame women for their lack of sexual or romantic success. Rodger is disturbingly referred to by some in those circles as a saint. In the response to the attack, the hashtag #YesAllWomen went viral, as women shared their experiences with harassment, objectification, and violence, highlighting how misogyny isn't just hateful, it can be deadly. Elliot Rodger's case isn't just about one man's descent into violence. It's about the dangerous intersections of mental illness, misogyny, entitlement, and radicalisation. If you found this case breakdown interesting, follow us for more true crime in 5.